in the winter of '94, I went through a divorce. And after being married for 20 years, there was a tremendous impact on my 3 children. The tremendous upheaval of having their dad leave abruptly and move to another state was the worst trauma that I could have ever imagined. And all 3 of these children were straight-A students. They were outstanding athletes. And someone had put a bomb into the middle of their life, and it had exploded.
There's just so many things that so many kids have to face, even in elementary school. Teachers have enough to do if they walked in the door and just taught the subjects, but they can't do that. The kids' problems come in with the kids.
No matter how much we object, we can't keep what's going on in that home, in that neighborhood, and in this society out of the classroom. It grabs hold, gets on the coattail in the lunchbox, and goes into the room with those children.
Tremendous pressures, stuff that they face every day. Sexual abuse is one of the worst things. The physical abuse is another one. And the one that people don't really think about is the neglect.
What we consider to be a normal child living a normal existence can change with the death of a parent. Someone may lose their job. There are all kinds of things that we cannot control.
When people say to me, just teach, don't be a social worker, don't be a minister, don't be a counselor, don't be a mother, I look at them with such awe. They really have no concept what they're saying.
Please pay attention to what Miss Sanders is teaching you. She's not teaching you this stuff just for the next quiz or just for the next test. What she's teaching you has to go into your long-term memory.
The first and fundamental role of a counselor, I think, is a proactive role. And they give them real specific information. It's just not come in and feel good kinds of things. Peer relations, problem solving, decision making, all those kinds of things can be very complex.
There's so many avenues that counselors can come in and intervene to help not just kids with problems, but any kid.
Counselors go hand in hand with the child's academic career, in the very beginning. A teacher has 22, maybe 25 kids. You only get so much time to spend with every child. So you may see things that a child needs that just during the course of the regular day that you can't do.
Schools are about educating kids, reading, writing, arithmetic, careers in the future, things like that. When a child comes to school and there are circumstances outside of the school that are having an impact, it's going to impact what that child does in the classroom.
Academically, I can only take a child as far as they are willing to go. I know that if a child is not performing academically, and I know test scores show they should be, that there's something interfering there.
If you're worried about your safety at home, if you're worried about the privacy of your bedroom, if you're worried about relationships and things that are not going well, then you're not a good student.
If a student's not prepared mentally or emotionally to go into the classroom, regardless if it's a star teacher, that teacher's not going to be able to reach that student. Counselors are a vital part of my leadership team. They're vital to all the students, not just a select few.
Counseling to me is an avenue of putting a step forward for our children for success.
You cannot be just math, science, English, literature. You have to, you're also, I'm also Jaylene. I'm not just some bunch of brain cells. When I go to counseling and I talk about this whole situation and I get all that garbage out of my system and I go to class and I can think geometry.
Academically, we need to know where they are so that we can bring them up to where they can be.
They don't live in a vacuum, and you can't teach as though they live in a vacuum. You got to pay attention to the person.
Counseling is very often a long-term investment. It will take years to know the actual benefit that happened because of a good counselor.
We feel very strong about helping to mold the future of our state, which is our children.
You need to know that you have somebody behind you to support you, that's there when you need them.
Counselors are the foundation that we stand on and that we hold those children up on academically.
Counselors are definitely there for the kids, but they're also there for the teachers. And when you look at it in the long run, we're all there for the kids.
Can't put a price tag on your children's emotional well-being. It was a lot of caring work by 3 very dedicated counselors that saved my children.
Like flowers, and plants, you gotta water them for them to be beautiful. So the counseling is probably the water and the sun to make things beautiful.